working around a certain familiarity that we have with things that are unfamiliar by nature, like space. None of us will go to space. None of us have a familiarity to space, but that doesn't mean we're not conditioned to imagery of space and that we don't develop an idea of what's out there. And so this is kind of approaching that, kind of, I don't know, changing something that's been conditioned back to a normal state that, maybe can't be understood. Like this view right here. It's hard to tell what it is, and supposedly it's a view from outer space of Earth. As the Earth spins into nighttime. That doesn't make sense. That sounds dumb. Scientifically inaccurate. So then this is the second video in the series, and this one was based around architectural symbolism in Spain. So I go from places like La Alhambra and then the Royal Palace. And it's not a direct chronology of events or anything. It's a similar concept where we're conditioned to architectural norms, and that those norms kind of dictate, a lot of things relating to understanding of place. And so I was dealing with that, and also, again, with the iconography, because it's the same symbolism project. And had taken something, again, it was stock footage, but it was stock footage of a place that I'd been before. So I'd taken this, had this personal, relationship to the subject, but a very non-personal relationship to all of the imagery. I didn't design the iconography, I didn't design the architecture, I didn't even shoot the video. But still it has this, like a very personal element to it, I think. Yeah, I don't know if I was trying to tell a history of iconography or anything, but definitely. I don't know. It wasn't so much a story of how this became that, but more of an idea of everything in here represents an idea that's larger than itself in the material state. Like, these are just 3 lines, but it represents a paper stack. That's an abstract circle, but it represents a wheel. And here, with the double mirroring effect, you're able to sort of deconstruct this and make things seem very disassociated from the real space, from the true space that they exist. The plan is to go from Chicago to Tel Aviv, visit Svat, go back through Tel Aviv to Beijing, and then fly into Los Angeles, stay for a few nights, and then come back to Chicago. And the reason we're doing this is because we have questions about the nature of creation. I guess the goal is to create a discussion about creation, about the principles of creation, or about some basic elements of creation that are universal, that don't change between cultures. It's not a typically anthropological in the sense that it finds differences between cultures, but rather that it finds similarities through an abstract medium such as creation, or through art, like art, or through artistry. And so the idea behind visiting Svat and Beijing is to show 2 very different places and interpretations of art and creation. In Svat, it's a Kabbalistic center in Judaism. It's the center for mysticism and spiritual discussions and thought and studies. So here I want to find ideas about a strictly conceptual idea of creation. And I know here there will be people who are focused on this, who are taking this question very seriously. The second city, Beijing, it might also be confusing for some people. Why would you want to go there? Luckily, I suppose, I've been given an opportunity to visit Beijing and to visit an artist who's been living there and who has lived in New York, named Xu Bing, who's fairly famous and is a national artist in China. But Xu Bing is a very influential artist in China and in Asia, and is going to continue to be an influential artist internationally. So luckily I've been given an invitation to visit Xu Bing, and I don't want to lose this opportunity because of how important I feel Xu Bing is, especially in context of this project. In terms of similarities, because I know a lot of people will view this work as a piece of compare and contrast. So in terms of the comparisons, I know generally it comes from the principle of ex nihilo, or from nothing through the creative process of being something. So when Shubing has an idea to create a project, it's culminated in his own mind, and it would have just sat there had he not become involved in the process of creation, or understood what the process of creation was. So I think in both settings, whether you're speaking strictly conceptually, speaking in terms of politics, speaking in terms of religion or artistic creation, it has to do with bringing something from the non-material into the material,